Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, your go-to source for all the latest tea on the Duggar family. We've got a lot to unpack today, so let's dive right in. First up, we're breaking down the latest sighting of newlyweds Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman at the infamous Duggar family home, the Big House. Fans are buzzing with snarky comments, and we're here to spill all the details about their visit, what it could mean, and why it's causing such a stir. Next, we're diving into a trending topic that's got people talking: Jessa Duggar's transformation. Once hailed as the prettiest Duggar, fans are noticing her growing resemblance to her dad, Jim Bob Duggar. But what's behind this shift in her appearance? Could it be genetics, motherhood, or something else? We're breaking it all down in our next segment. We'll explore a fan-favorite question: how do the Duggar boys keep landing incredibly beautiful wives? From Katie and Kendra to Abby, these women have married into the Duggar clan, leaving many fans wondering if these guys are love bombers or if there's something deeper going on. We've got all the tea. Lastly, we're diving into an emotional update from Jill Duggar, as she shares a heartbreaking milestone. It's been 6 months since she and her husband, Derek Dillard, lost their daughter, Isla Marie. We'll talk about how Jill has been coping, the heartfelt tribute she paid to Isla, and the touching gesture from her sister, Ginger, that's bringing a bit of light to a difficult time. So grab your tea, settle in, and let's get started. So Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman, the couple who tied the knot last month, were spotted hanging out at the Duggar family's massive Arkansas home, sparking a flood of comments online. Some fans are speculating that the couple is either visiting the family or, even more surprising, potentially settling into life back at the Big House. For those of you unfamiliar with the Duggar family dynamics, Jana spent years living with her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle, acting as the family's unofficial nanny and household manager. Now, with her marriage to Stephen, many thought she had finally broken free of her family's stronghold. But seeing her back at the house has left fans with some burning questions. Are they just visiting? Or is Jana falling back into the Duggar fold? Comments online range from fans noticing Jana looking unusually happy. Some have described her as smug, to speculations about what's really going through Stephen's mind. One fan joked, "Stephen's probably thinking, 'Get me out of here,' while others noticed how he looks dead behind the eyes, possibly overwhelmed by the reality of becoming a Duggar-in-law. Others took a playful approach, comparing Stephen's expression to that of family member Jeremiah Duggar during one of Jim Bob's infamous barbecue tuna sandwiches. One fan even joked, "Stephen can't leave until he finishes it," talking about a nightmare scenario. Despite the humor, there are real concerns from some fans who wonder if Jana might be getting pulled back into the very life she was thought to have left behind. Several users mention the possibility that this photo was from before the wedding, during their courting phase, making people question the timing of their Big House hangout. However, others were quick to point out that Jana and Stephen are reportedly planning to settle in Nebraska, far from the reach of Jim Bob's rule. Fans were also critical of the photo's aesthetic, with one person commenting on the house's dated window shades and odd door choices, while others couldn't help but notice Jana's backward cap, which one fan playfully said gave off high school vibes. A more hilarious observation even likened her look to Drew Lachey of 98 Degrees. And of course, the internet couldn't help but dissect Jana's expression in the photo, with some calling it smug while others think she looks genuinely happy, a rare sight for fans who are used to seeing Jana more subdued. Could this be a sign that married life has given her a sense of freedom? Or is this the look of someone relieved to finally meet her family's long-standing expectations of finding a husband? So what do you think? Is this just a nostalgic trip back to the Duggar family home? Or could Jana be getting sucked back into the life she tried to leave behind? We'd love to hear your thoughts on what's really going on with Jana and Stephen. And of course, let us know what you think of Stephen's dead behind the eyes look. Next, we're diving into a trending topic that has fans buzzing: Jessa Duggar's transformation over the years. Once considered by many as the prettiest Duggar, fans are now noticing her uncanny resemblance to her father, Jim Bob Duggar. But what's really behind this shift in her appearance? Is it just genetics, motherhood, or something more? Let's break it all down. Jessa Duggar, the third-born daughter in the famous Duggar family, was once widely regarded as the prettiest among her sisters. However, fans are now saying she looks more like a carbon copy of her father, Jim Bob Duggar. Comments on social media have been quick to point out her similarities to both Jim Bob and her brother John David. Some fans are even joking that Jessa has morphed into the prettiest Jim Bob Duggar. One fan commented she peaked early, while another remarked on how Jessa and her eldest son, Spurgeon, are the spitting image of Jim Bob. It's clear that genetics play a big role, but some believe that her changing appearance is also a result of the demands of motherhood. With 5 children and a husband who some humorously describe as a man-child, it's no wonder Jessa looks more worn out these days. Many fans are sympathetic, noting that Jessa's appearance has changed due to the toll that raising multiple young children can take, along with the physical changes that come from having so many pregnancies. She's still pretty, one commenter said, just tired looking. Others agree, pointing out that she's dealing with the exhaustion of having 5 kids, which is bound to impact how you age. She hasn't had a full night of sleep in years, one fan wrote, defending her current look. Another hot topic in the discussion is Jessa's hairstyle. While her hair is often admired for being thick and long, some fans are suggesting that a cut would do wonders for her. She needs to cut her hair a few inches off, and some face framing layers would make such a difference, one commenter advised. Others pointed out how her current hairstyle, humorously described as interlocking loops of hair, confuses fans, with many wondering how it even exists. On the flip side, there are those who believe Jessa looks great, especially for a mom of 5 who is likely struggling with endless responsibilities. Some even compared her favorably to her mother, Michelle, at the same stage in life, with one fan saying Jessa looks better than Michelle did with 5 kids. But let's not forget that aging is a natural process, and many fans think it's normal for Jessa to look different from her younger years. One thoughtful comment reads, "She's aged like anyone would, without cosmetic enhancements, and after having 5 kids, which ages you fast." Another pointed out that Jessa's beauty has always been more than skin deep, saying, "Maybe it's just that as we get older, the outer beauty can no longer mask the inner ugly as well." Finally, while some are quick to criticize her weight or speculate that she's pregnant again, others rush to her defense, reminding people that post-pregnancy bodies are normal. She just looks like she's gained a little weight, probably from baby number 5. It happens. Jessa Duggar is still admired by many for her strength and beauty, both inside and out. Whether she's looking more like Jim Bob or just a tired mom of 5, it's clear that her journey as a parent and partner is a major part of her life. But what do you all think? Has Jessa's transformation surprised you? Or is this just the reality of aging and raising a big family? Next, the hot topic is all about the Duggar boys and their surprising ability to attract incredibly beautiful wives. From Katie Duggar to Kendra and Abby, we've seen these women marry into the Duggar family, and many fans are left wondering how these average-looking guys pull it off. Are the Duggar boys love bombers, or is there something else going on here? Let's break it down. The Duggar men aren't exactly known for their charm, or riz as some might call it. Yet we see these young women often glowing and radiant, looking at their husbands with adoration. How does that happen? Especially when the Duggar boys don't seem to have the charisma or looks to match. For many, the answer lies in the upbringing of the Duggar wives. These women are raised in ultra-conservative environments where their only purpose is often framed as being a submissive wife and mother. They grow up isolated from the outside world, rarely interacting with men outside of their fundamentalist circles. By the time a Duggar boy shows even the smallest amount of attention or affection, it feels like a breath of fresh air in their world. A simple kind word, a smile, or even a crumb of emotional validation feels monumental. Some argue that these women are love-bombed, a term that refers to overwhelming someone with affection in the early stages of a relationship. The Duggars might not even be doing this intentionally, but in the strict, isolated environment they live in, small gestures are amplified. For many of these women, like Lauren Swanson and Kendra Caldwell, their options are limited. The choices of Christian men in their circle are few, and marrying a Duggar brings a mix of status, security, and fame. In August, Jana Duggar married Stephen Wisman with zero public notice. Sister Jill Duggar did attend the wedding despite her documented estrangement from some of her family. But attending a wedding doesn't always mean that everything's good, especially when the guest list is around 500. How do things stand between Jana and Jill Duggar these days? Longtime Duggar watchers, not all of whom are fans, had all but written off Jana, wondering if anyone compatible with the family's fundamentalist cult would marry someone as old as the 34-year-old eldest daughter. But Jana clearly broke multiple Duggar rules. She and Stephen had an engagement, and they seemed incredibly familiar with each other before their nuptials. Even her wedding gown deviated from the cult. This is relevant because Jana has been the obedient, overly put-upon eldest daughter for so long. She seemed totally under Jim Bob's thumb. Not even marrying, many assumed, because Jim Bob and Manchild demanded that she continue to provide childcare. Now fans are starting to wonder if Jana's taste of rule-breaking is bringing her closer to Jill. After all, Jill has been the black sheep of the sisters for years. Maybe Jana seeing what freedom feels like, relatively speaking, is helping her to understand why Jill broke away from Jim Bob's control. In her memoir, Jill doesn't really specify who among her toxic family avoids her altogether. Recently, Reddit denizens discussed the idea of whether the newly liberated Jana might feel more open to chatting with Jill. Maybe she didn't understand Jill before but does now. Commenters quickly pointed out that there's a theory that Jana remained with the family for two reasons: Josh Duggar and the kids. Josh keeps losing his appeals, thankfully. Maybe Jana had to wait around for whatever reason until his prison sentence felt like a sure thing. Additionally, she has been caretaker to her massive brood of younger siblings for all of her life. Now they're all older, and Jana's time as an involuntary mother may be over. One commenter went so far as to suggest that Jana Duggar has been telling the truth, that she didn't feel that she'd met the right suitor until Stephen Wisman this time around, that she's been making her own choices for years, including remaining single and including marrying. If that's the case, maybe the perceived gulf between her and Jill won't go away. I don't think any new relationship sibling-wise will magically appear because of the wedding, the Redditor wrote. That said, many of the siblings may feel sympathy for Jill. Not Josh, of course, but many. Several commenters noted that anyone keeping Jill at arm's length may have no choice not wanting to incur Jim Bob's wrath. Counting on star Jessa Duggar wasn't having any of the ongoing rumors about her expecting her sixth child, shutting down a fan who claimed she looked pregnant. The mother of five shared a sweet photo on Instagram of her family posing together on a beautiful beach, although it's unclear exactly where the photo was taken. Jessa stood in the back holding her youngest, George, while her husband, Ben Seawald, stood tall behind her. In front of the couple, their four other kids, Spurgeon, Henry, Ivy, and Fern, stood side by side smiling at the camera. While many fans complimented the reality TV star on her happy family, with notes like, "How gorgeous. Love seeing how the children have grown up, makes my day, and beautiful. They're all growing so fast." Some questioned whether or not she was pregnant again. A few wrote, "She looks prego again," and in another, "On the way I heard," with others calling them out for making assumptions and being rude. When a third said, "Jess looks pregnant again," Jessa decided to directly address the rumors herself, cheekily replying, "Not pregnant. Just too much ice cream on vacation." The fan whose comment Jessa responded to wrote back, "So glad you're just happy and healthy. Everyone loves ice cream." Others complimented Jessa in support, writing, "Love your sense of humor and you look beautiful as always." Jessa and her husband welcomed their son George in late December 2023, not publicly sharing his gender or name until after he was born. The couple got married in 2014 and they had their first child, Spurgeon, in November 2015. They had Henry in February 2017, Ivy in May 2019, and Fern in July 2021. Asking a woman if she is pregnant or even suggesting that she might be is a bold move, especially if she's a stranger. The safest bet is to never assume someone is expecting unless they tell you themselves. But evidently, folks commenting on Jessa Duggar's most recent Instagram update never got the memo. As a refresher, the former Counting On star and her husband, Ben Seawald, married in 2014. They welcomed their first child, a son they named Spurgeon, in 2015. Another son, Henry, arrived in early 2017, followed by their daughters, Ivy in 2019 and Fern in 2021, and their son George in December 2023. On September 18th, Jessa took to Instagram with a rare family photo including all five of her kids. So grateful for these blessings, she captioned the update. The photo showed Jessa holding George while standing next to Ben on a beach while Spurgeon, Henry, Ivy, and Fern posed in front of them. For the most part, Jessa's comments were filled with positive reactions. Her older sister, Jill Duggar, wrote, "Not everyone had kind reactions to Jessa's family photo. In fact, some felt the need to speculate on whether she was expecting her sixth child. One Instagram user wrote, "She looks prego again." Jessa did not tolerate the pregnancy speculation in her Instagram comments. In response to the "Jess looks pregnant again" comment, the mom of 5 issued a direct reply to the Instagram user. "Not pregnant. Just too much ice cream on vacation," she wrote, shutting down rumors at the source. In the comments, Jessa wasn't the only person shutting down the pregnancy talk. One Instagram user wrote, "For anyone saying she looks pregnant, one, stop, that's rude. 2, she's not. She says she's not," in a reply to a comment on the thread. "It's never okay to comment on someone looking pregnant." Another follower pointed out, "This is why we don't assume things like this." Meanwhile, a fellow parent shared, "I always loathed that comment when I would receive it.